Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm doing a review on a product that was sent to me by a company called Instylish. They sent me a sponge duo. This is one of the sponges and this is the other one. It's dirty because I just used it. It originally was about this big and it grew to be this size as soon as I wet it. So I think I found a dupe for the Beauty Blender for a lot cheaper than what you get the Beauty Blender for. So if you guys are curious to see my thoughts on the Instylish makeup sponge, keep on watching. Today we're going to do a review on a sponge duo that was sent to me by a company called Instylish. They reached out to me through email and wanted to send me these two sponges. I had a choice between the microfiber ones and like the regular sponge ones, kind of like the Beauty Blender. So I went with those sponges and I got two. They originally start off like this size. This one is, the shape is almost identical to the Real Techniques one. It's slightly smaller, but when you wet them, they grow. That's pretty significant. So I wet these, well, I wet one, and I can tell you when it's dry, it definitely feels like the Real Technique. And when it's wet, it becomes a lot softer. I would say it's almost softer than the Beauty Blender. So I'm curious to see how it's going to work. I'm already moisturized my face and I figured let's just go right into it. We'll do foundation, concealer, a little bit of contour, and a cream blush just to kind of see how this works. Somebody asked me a couple of videos before. I'm using, just really quick, I'm using the Neutrogena Hydro Boost Hydrating Tint. It's a foundation that I use kind of often. So I figured, let's be fair, I'll use it with the foundation that I use kind of often. I prefer with sponges to work with liquids and sometimes creams. That being said, back to what I was saying. Somebody asked me, I think my last video, if I like sponges and if I use them. If I'm being honest, I don't use them often for myself. I do like sponges. I like to use them when I'm working on clients, when I want to just make the foundation look very like perfect, seamless, and give that glow look. Because with a sponge, you have to remember that you put your foundation on, and when you wet a sponge, it starts to kind of like shear out the foundation. So that's why you get like that perfect finish, that glowy look, because it kind of mixes in with the water. Well, not the water, but it dilutes it. So that's typically how I like to use sponges, and I love to use sponges on people who have maybe textured skin or more mature skin, where you don't want to put too much foundation on. You just kind of want to do a sheer application, but something that has a lot of coverage. So I'm going to tap this on my face. Let's see how this blends out. So this is cool. It's got like the regular bottom part, like the Beauty Blender. It has the side that's kind of like slant. Like a Beauty Blender is just like an egg. This one's kind of dirty and old. And then it's got a shorter side, which I think would be perfect for underneath the eyes. So let's blend, blend, blend. It's definitely doing a nice job of spreading the foundation out. To be honest with you, I was kind of nervous because it was like too soft and squishy. I thought maybe it wasn't going to blend out, but it's actually doing a nice job. So these go for the duo, I think it's like $13, which isn't bad, especially if it ends up being a very good sponge. Definitely worth your money. I would say it's almost around the price point of the Real Techniques brushes, which those are amazing. I think I need a little bit more coverage. I'm breaking out a little bit. The time of the month is coming, so, and of course I can't stop picking at my face. Let's see. So far, so good. I like it. So back to this company, Instylish. I believe they're a new company, or maybe they haven't been out very long. So they did reach out to me and they offered a discount code for you guys, which I will write here. So the discount code is my last name, which it's kind of hard to pronounce if you're curious. Not that anybody said, "Hey, how do you say your last name?" It's actually pronounced Rachinsky, but I'll type it down here so you guys can see how it's spelled, and that can give you guys 10% off. They do offer me a small commission for it. If you guys want to use the code, I will get a commission for it. If you're not into that, I totally understand. You don't have to use my code, but just wanted to share that with you guys. So that blends out really nice. I like it. Let's see how the little pointy part does for concealer. I'm going to go in with the Neutrogena Hydro Boost concealer. So let's take this point. It does a really nice job. It feels great on the skin. And that blends it out really nice, actually. So I think that this little part of the sponge that I'm using is good for concealer and also highlighter. It's like the perfect size for that. Next, let's do a little contouring. So I'm sticking with liquid cream products. I'm going to go with the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Sculpting Bronzer in, I think this one's called Mocha. I threw out the box and this thing doesn't say what color it is. It's the lighter one though. So I'm just going to lightly. I like these sticks. They're cool for bronzing / contouring. I'm going to use the other side, the bigger side. So I use the small side for concealer, the bottom for foundation, and this part we're going to use for blending out the bronzer contour. Definitely does a nice job of blending out, which I like. So far, it's looking like a good product. What do you guys think? I like it. It's definitely something that I would throw into my kit when I go do makeup. Because like I said, that's really when I use a sponge or if like I'm in a rush. But it's not something that I reach for often. But this is actually really nice. So I'm just taking some blush. This is the Physicians Formula Organic Wear Dewy Elixir in Apricot Glow. Oh yeah, that did a nice job of blending that out. That's a pretty strong color. I would definitely put this sponge up there with the Beauty Blender and with the Real Techniques. I think it's doing a great job. It's definitely something that I would, like I said, keep in my kit to use on clients, and it feels really soft, which I like a lot. So there you have it. Did concealer, foundation, bronzer / contour, blush, and I definitely think the sponge did a great job, and for the price point, it's really good. I'm extremely impressed by it. I would just clean it with, I have the Beauty Blender, the soap, and I know TJ Maxx has some kind of little blender thingy, and they have a soap too that cleans really good. So that's the only thing with these sponges is you have to clean them. You have to clean them often. I would recommend the Beauty Blender liquid thing to clean it. But yeah, I think this is really, it's really good. And it really, when you wet it, it just like grows really big. I would say it even grows bigger than the Real Techniques one. So again, I will link down below my code for if you want to save 10% off. And yeah, thanks for watching, guys, and I will see you in my next video.